Hello there, this is Asian95 and welcome back to another episode of Black Ops Cold War Multiplayer Open Guide. In this 8th and special episode, we'll be taking a look at the Streetsweeper. Based on the real life of the South African made, the Armcell Striker is a combat and ride control shotgun with a high capacity of 12 shells in a rotating cylinder. The name Streetsweeper refers to a clone model made by Cobra SWD in the United States, a company that also manufactured the Mag 10 and Mag 11. Compared to other shotguns in the game, the Streetsweeper deals moderate damage in multiplayer, with 2 shots to kill minimum within its short effective range of 5.72 meters. Outside this, you may need up to 5 shots to kill out to 19 meters, under a condition that you are aiming with it to tighten its pellet spread, and you deal no damage at all beyond this. The rate of fire, however, is very impressive, as the Streetsweeper fires in full auto mode at a rate of 300 rounds per minute, with a really fast velocity of 850 meters per second, making the shotgun really forgiving in close quarters combat should you miss a shot. Recoil is light with the Streetsweeper when fired continuously, but not an issue for the gun that only demands good positioning within really close range to be effective. Aiming with this gun would tighten up the pellet spread as mentioned earlier, and this would take 270 milliseconds, with a maximum movement speed of 100%. The rotating cylinder of the Streetsweeper holds 12 shells, highest capacity of all 3 shotguns, and can be extended to either 15 or 18. Reload, however, is painfully slow. While a single shell would take only 1.5 seconds to insert and rotate the cylinder, reloading the entire 12 shells would take around 13.5 seconds total. So be ready to find a safe spot to reload, or top up the cylinder constantly to keep the shells populated. Note that the add time occurs once the shell is inserted and not when the cylinder is being rotated. The Streetsweeper's fast output makes it a great backup secondary to complement any primary that it is weak up close. It is easy to use and more forgiving compared to other options. Because of this, many of its available attachments can work well with the Streetsweeper. The barrel attachments are certainly interesting, and the last unlock, the 14.4-inch Task Force barrel, will increase its damage by 72%, but you lose not only the effective range, but the overall range as well. While you can kill an enemy within 1 shot in 5 meters, the shotgun's reach is reduced from 19 to 15 meters. It is nonetheless a usable attachment if you are intended to use the Streetsweeper as a really close range secondary. The one-shot kill ability can make all the difference. If you wish to use the Streetsweeper more as a primary, then the 14.6-inch Ranger is the best fit, with a 30% increase in range. So, your effective range is increased to 7.43 meters, with the overall range up to 25 meters. The longer reach is useful if you find yourself out in the open, as you will still deal damage instead of nothing at all. The downside is the slower aim walking movement speed, which is not a concern for a spray and pray weapon. Since aiming isn't the spirit of this weapon, maximizing its hipfire accuracy is a good way to go, so the laser sight attachment is a useful addition to this weapon. There are no attachments that can boost up the reload time. Your only option here is to go with larger magazine size. The Statistic 80 round drum grants 6 extra shells, enough to kill 2 more enemies before reload is warranted. Do keep in mind that if you empty the entire thing, it will take almost 20 seconds to refill. Although I advise you avoid the suppressor to preserve its range and less number of shots to kill, the Streetsweeper is the best shotgun to be used silenced, thanks to high capacity and fast fire rate that will make up for it. And you can use the Ranger barrel to make up for the range loss. If you are going loud, the duckbill choke is an interesting choice, with wider horizontal spread that it is useful against moving targets. Conversely, the infantry V-choke will tighten up the spread by 70% when aiming, useful when the enemy is near the edge of the overall range. The Streetsweeper can be used as a primary, with a pistol as a secondary to fall back on when the enemy interrupts your reload. Ghost, Ninja, and Spycrab rounds up your aggression and evasion against detection. All of these options are powered by the Lawbreaker wildcard. Overall, the Streetsweeper is a force multiplier within close range that delivers an overwhelming amount of buckshots, thanks to fast fire rate, fair damage, and high capacity. The real downside is when you empty the cylinder with a really long reload time. But once you can top up the supply while on the move or find a good place to reload, the Streetsweeper is ready for the next victim to be shredded. The large magazine size is also good against a group of enemies. You can quickly mow them down by just holding the trigger. The weapon is also really forgiving up close, unlike the Hoyer 77, where a missed shot means death. The full auto capability of the Streetsweeper will allow you to cover this up. It is a dependable secondary when switched to it, a good choice to fill in your close range to your long range primary. And that concludes the guide of the Streetsweeper. This is Asian95, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.